Hey everyone, welcome back to 210 Slap. I'm out here in the yard today because my office is a wreck. So this is the monthly course of fire video for NRL22 February 2025. I think it was an excellent course of fire. I cracked out my RimX in its final form, fresh back from the gunsmith, and I made the mistake of not fully doping out my gun to 200 when we had an option 2 stage this month at 184 yards. That's on me. Totally dropped the ball on that stage. But aside from that, it was a great match. The gun hammers, and my data is ironed out now, so not worried about it moving forward. Without being said, let's roll the tape and get into the video. Thanks so much for being here, guys. On the start signal, engage the targets from the designated props in the following manner. Prop 1, 1, 2, 1. Prop 2, 2, 1, 2. Prop 3, 1, 2, 1. Prop 4, 2, 1, 2. Props may be used in any order. Props are the 55-gallon barrel, tire stack, and top of the sawhorse as well as the bottom. Tripod rear may be used. So on this stage, I chose to use tripod rear. Part of that is because when you use the bag at the front of the rifle, like I chose to, it creates almost the similar feeling to shooting off of a bench with a bipod and a rear bag. Now, I shot top to bottom on the sawhorse because I could stay farther to the right on the sawhorse and then drop down to the left on the bottom portion of the sawhorse, meaning I don't have to drag the tripod with me. It just stays where it is. It's the same way I would approach shooting a cattle gate at, say, a PRS style match. Now, the bottom of the cattle gate was a little bit high for me, meaning I had to push that right knee out and kick my hips up, but it worked. My dope also was a couple tenths off to the right on this, and I realized it about midway through that first string. So after this stage, I was able to run to the 0 range and correct that for the rest of the match. Now, moving over the tires, I want to be on the edge of the tires. If you're on the back center, using the rifle and setup I'm in now, you're going to see a lot more bounce. Being on that edge gives me a lot more stability. And also I'm putting less of my rifle onto the prop, allowing for less bounce. Should be very, very helpful. The same thing goes for the edge of the 55-gallon drum. If you are where the top and bottom are, it is more rigid and less bouncy, and it gives you the ability to really have a more stable shot. On the start signal, ascend the rooftop and engage the targets with one shot each, near to far, large to small. So, here on the rooftop, this is a great example of just a modified prone position. What I'm going to do is throw my bag down. Now, my bag was not totally centered. I didn't slap it to make sure that it was as flat as it could be. I just wanted to get on glass and get on the rifle as quickly as possible after having what I thought was a poor performance on the last stage. You can see I'm able to quick get those hits on the 1/2-inch and 1/4-inch targets, move on to the 3/4 and 1-inch targets really quickly, and move on as we go down the line. Now, I missed the 3/4-inch target, but part of that is because I did not have that bag totally flat, making it a little bit less stable. I adjust my parallax for the middle of the next set of targets, meaning that I will have a clearer sight picture on those targets. Shooting bottom to top, super easy. Smoke those targets. It is just run-of-the-mill kind of modified prone shooting. Same thing, get to the next two, smack them, move on. Now we get to those final two targets that are the largest of the group as well. And I realize my bag isn't quite right. So I shift it, I adjust it. This shores up my sight picture, makes it even more stable. And then I rush this very last shot, missing it. On the start signal, engage the target with 3 shots from each position, utilizing a chosen rung from that position. Positions are standing, kneeling, sitting, and prone. The prone position may be utilized on the prop or next to it from the ground. Now, this here is the one where my dope was totally off, and I should have known it, but I didn't. This being the bane of my existence. I get that bag on the bottom rung because that is just a normal prone position for me with a well-balanced rifle. I should be able to get a good wind hold, see what my impacts downrange are doing, and make adjustments from there. I'm shooting my optic at 20 power. It's plenty of, room. I can see my rounds splashing low on the berm behind it when you see it. Now, mind you, the match was torrential downpour, so sometimes in the mud you could see it, sometimes you couldn't. I move up to the next rung to do the sitting position. Sitting is my least favorite position, so I wanted to get that out of the way as quickly as humanly possible. Had a hard time seeing my misses from the seated position. Again, not one I do often, did not particularly love that position. Now, I need to note also, I'm struggling on this stage, and one of my squad mates who shoots gas gun matches with me, that does allow coaching, starts trying to give me wind calls. I don't condone it. You shouldn't be doing it at matches, and I do appreciate him trying to help me because my dope was so off, it wouldn't have made a difference if his wind call was on or not, right? The rounds were just not going exactly where that target was. Like I said, I have since gone out and trued up my data and won't have this issue anymore because I'm just anal enough that I needed to do this. So moved into that, totally good to go now without it. But I was definitely frustrated on this stage, knowing that this gun is perfectly capable and accurate to be able to hit these targets. And for some reason, I still could not connect the dots and make it happen.
I couldn't even see my misses on the damn there.
On the start signal, engage the target with 1 shot each, large then small, from the following positions in order. Center of the tank trap, each tip, center of the tank trap. So my approach to the tank trap is super simple. You got to shoot center, tips, center. Now, with that back leg kicked towards you, it makes it a little complicated to shoot off the center. What I choose to do as soon as the go is given, I drop my bag on it and I throw my rifle up into a good shooting position. I wrap my support hand around and hug that tank trap, getting my right knee up, my foot flat on the ground, and creating a stable, solid platform to shoot off. In that position, there shouldn't be much wiggle in that reticle. You should have a fairly easy time getting on target, getting a good hit. So then it's just getting on the tips and repeating that process, getting your gun balanced, getting on glass, getting a sight picture, breathe, press the trigger straight to the rear, follow through. It is super fundamental shooting. I absolutely adore shooting off of tank traps. Any misses that I had here were just me getting in my own head and rushing from issues I had earlier in the day. But as you can see here, it's not as big a problem with the dope as I had on other stages. So very happy with the rifle, very happy how it's shooting, and I'm very much looking forward to the match I have in the very near future. On the start signal, engage the target from the pyramid in the following order. Position 1, 1, 2, 3. Position 2, 2, 3, 1. Position 3, 3, 1, 2. Position 4, 1, 2, 3. Well, guys, this stage has a rather tricky order of operations, especially for someone like myself. So what I made sure to do was write down position 1, targets 1, 2, 3. Position 2, targets 2, 3, 1. Position 3, targets 3, 1, 2. And position 4, 1, 2, 3. So that every time I looked at my data card on my arm, I knew exactly what target I was supposed to be shooting at. Doing something like that for me helps me keep everything square in my head. I want to shoot top to bottom and let gravity do the work for me, make it easier for me to move down the target and target list and props as I go. Now, here on this second rung, I have a shooter-induced malfunction. Fortunately, it was not the one that breaks your extractor ejector on the RimX. It was something totally different. Tap rack, nothing happens. I had to remove the mag, clear the mist round, and reseat my mag, and then it was right back in the swing of things. Absolutely zero issues. It cost me a couple points having that issue. I had to rush on some of my next targets, which also resulted in misses. It was not ideal, and it was totally avoidable, but hey, you know, it is a first match out with a rifle that was hastily zeroed and doped the week before, really a couple days before. So you're going to have issues. Now, like I said, overall, it shot great. I can't complain. It feels good. It balances good. It performs well. Every issue that happened was something that was within my control and I could have stopped. So, thanks for coming out, guys. I really appreciate all of you. If you find this content valuable, please smash that like button, comment, share, and subscribe. Guys, thank you so much for coming out to the channel. I love you all, and I hope to see you all on the shooting range and on the line at a match sometime in the near future. Thanks, guys.